Oh, I can choose another trade. The other thing about Pan, purely for dialogue choices, is the fact you have the option to romance him. Honestly, with Athena, I'll go for. I'm off. I'm just right going to Athena. I'll take clever. Because I think I'm gonna need that. Brute forcing is. I feel like it's not gonna help me. Let's try being clever.
There you are, Grace. Do have a seat. I prefer to stand, thanks. As you like. You've certainly been busy, haven't you? Everywhere I turn, there you are. Including the reliquary. Oh. I'm uncertain how you got access, but even you must have realized it's off limits. Particularly for your mortal friend.
Oh, that's what you were saying. Seems odd that they would let you romance him if it was him, in your opinion. True. You can also say that it seems at the very beginning you can make a choice who you want to help, who you want to be like your guide on this journey, either Freddy or Pan. And I guess, I mean, it would be an interesting choice if he is the killer, that you have both the make the decision to romance him, chance to romance him, and ask him as like your guide, your helper. I mean, like I said, I'm more so than Athena. But it would be an interesting game design choice if Pan were the killer. To have him this close to you and run a kind of keep your friends close and your enemies closer kind of deal.
But you know what happened there. That's where Calliope was attacked. Yet it's not where she died, Grace, is it? So because she made it all the way to my apartment, we shouldn't care why she was bleeding to death along the way. You think our judgment was rash?
Okay, dialogue missing.
I am sorry, Grace. You may not believe it, but I care deeply. I care about what happens to you and to all the idols. Do you really? Let's explore where all that caring has gotten them, shall we? You're holding on with a grip so tight, your knuckles are turning white. But that's not enough, is it? Every idol I've met is either lost or broken, or both. They're all slipping through your fingers. If you actually cared about them, you'd do something about it instead of sitting up here worrying about your precious rules. Zeus was the first to leave. King of the gods. And we don't even know what became of him. Vanished into the ether. Poseidon was next. Walked out into the seas, never to be heard from again. Ares betrayed us. Hephaestus saved us. Hades was murdered. And by one of our own. The list goes on. I've heard most of that, sure. What does it have to do with me? We are dying, Grace. I don't mean diminishing or drifting apart. I mean, our immortality is disappearing. Very soon now, the idols will be no more. We are a legacy that spans millennia, dating back to the very dawn of humankind. So yes, I care. I will do anything and everything in my power to avoid that fate.
even if it appears unfair.
You know, it's too bad. I've been an idol for 5 minutes, and I've been out there solving problems you've all wrestled with for how long now? I could have helped you, Athena. I could have helped all of you. But you don't see that, do you? You're so busy holding on to what you have. You can't see what you're throwing away.
I know we've put a great deal on your shoulders, Grace. I do. All I called you here to ask is that you please not make my job more difficult than it already is. If you have any other questions or concerns, now's the time to bring them up.
Who has access to the reliquary? Is it anyone with a key, or...
Doesn't matter. You gained access, so clearly it is not difficult to get. Speaking of which, I don't suppose you'll tell me who gave you that key.
The same person gave it to me, who gave it to Calliope.
And who gave it to Calliope, then? I see.
Speaking of the reliquary, you went there, right? Once Hecate told you what happened?
Yeah, I was not impressed by the delay.
If you had known about that, the night Calliope died, would it have made a difference?
The chances are exceedingly small that you attacked her there, it's true. Yet, Calliope was weakened, which made her more vulnerable prey for an enterprising mortal, one she knew. Perhaps the incidents are connected, perhaps not. I cannot afford the risk of uncertainty, Grace. I'm sorry.
All right, let's talk about Medusa.
Met her, have you?
I just have to know why. Of all the people you could have working for you, why her?
We could have left her behind. I elected to bring her because, in the end, she is my responsibility. But Medusa didn't want charity. She volunteered to work in my service. It's trying at times. Now, if there isn't anything else...
What do you know of Pan?
Pan? That's not a name I expected to hear. Been sniffing around you, has he?
I have some suspicions, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
Pan lurks at the edges because he likes it there, seeking out whatever profit he thinks he can get away with. Avoid him, dear, or he'll stick to you like gum to the bottom of your shoe.
Okay, so you don't like Pan much. I get that. But do you think he could kill someone?
We've all killed, my dear. I was once a warrior queen, feared by mortals and gods alike.
Another idol, I mean.
Is that where your investigation has led you? To Pan?
No.
Sort of, but I feel like I'm missing something important. Maybe the goddess of wisdom could help me out?
It would be helpful to know what Calliope was doing at the reliquary, but she's not available to ask. Not until you regain her memories, at least.
Why not put off the trial until then? Seems like a good way to solve all this. Yeah?
And trust what you decide to share? I think not.
Bitch, you sus.
I guess I'll get back to my investigation.
I am rooting for you, Grace. If there's another way to resolve this, any way at all, I will take it.
Will you? Really?
Good luck. Feel free to take a cookie on your way out.
Don't take it personally, Grace. Athena's first instinct is to follow the rules whenever things get rough. As if she believes that if the idols don't blindly follow every rule to the letter, we'll dissolve into utter chaos.
Well, is she right?
Probably.
Do you think she's telling the truth about the idols dying out?
I'm not sure. I mean, if it is true, why hasn't she told the rest of the chorus?
It sounds like she doesn't trust you.
Well, the feeling is mutual. At any rate, I'm afraid we're going to have to disappoint her again.
Uh-oh, what now?
You need to go back to the reliquary, Grace.
You know, Athena said something to me. That it'd be nice to know what Calliope was doing there in the first place.
And she's correct.
It's the only piece of the puzzle we're missing. Calliope went there because she had a plan. But what plan?
If she left clues behind, wouldn't Hecate have found them already?
That's a really good question.
We can't ask Calliope what her plan was. But you might be able to remember what she was doing there.
Her memories? But I thought...
That it will take years, yes. But if you go somewhere important to Calliope, or touch something special to her, you'll get flashes, feelings.
Do you want Grace to go to the reliquary so she can have déjà vu?
I'm willing to wager the place Calliope met her fate has left its mark in Grace's psyche. We have only to uncover it.
Are you sure about this? You want me to wander around hoping something comes to me?
I do know something about how memories work after the transition, but no, I'm not certain. You want certainty? Wait until your trial. Without discovering more, the outcome of that is certain.
What if Medusa is lying? What about Pan? We could look into him some more, couldn't we?
Oh, my, you're just full of ideas, aren't you? Do you have any suggestions regarding how we might go about doing that?
Déjà vu it is.
Yeah, also I don't feel like Medusa was lying. The things she said lined up with what Asterion was saying. And I don't think he's lying either. I don't see any motivation in him to kill Calliope. And yes, I agree. Finding out what Calliope wanted at the reliquary might give us a hint on who might have an interest in her death.
Is there really no other way? This seems a bit desperate.
That's because we are desperate, Grace. Either we take this shot at learning the truth, or we overthrow Athena and the chorus by force, and disregard this stupid trial.
She's joking, right? She's joking, right?
Nope.
Last time Freddy and I were there, Hecate wouldn't let us into the reliquary. Not without Athena's permission.
I'm certainly not suggesting we ask Athena for permission.
Then you mean...
A week ago, I would have said breaking into the reliquary was impossible. Yet it appears Hecate can be surprised. If her book says she will be.
Let's hope the book says that again, I guess.
Unless you've some other plan. I'm all ears, as they say.
What about the alarms? I'm not eager to have Asterion chasing me through the fog.
Calliope snuck in without setting off any alarms. At least at first.
Well, I'll be following in Calliope's footsteps, won't I? What if I follow the wrong footstep and set them off?
Then they discover you and we apologize profusely.
Will not be a good look, though, just saying.
Let's say I do this. What am I hoping to find?
Some memory of who attacked Calliope, or why she was there. Anything we could work with. I've spoken to almost all the idols, and every single one says they hadn't seen or heard from her. If she was keeping to herself, then why now? What started this? We're missing something important, Grace.
What if Grace goes there and the memory she sees is that she attacked Calliope? A Grace from the future. It'd be a twist.
And the chorus, from what you mentioned before, would most of the chorus be fine with passing the trial because Grace has helped them in some way and or doesn't think Grace is like actually guilty? In theory, Evo. So I'm not sure, maybe this is like a standard line of dialogue in the game. I mean, Persephone believes me that I'm innocent. Apollo should still be on our side. And Aphrodite should be too. So yeah. It's like a 3-1 majority in our favor. But I mean, I'm forced to do this anyway, and I want to do it. But I see your point. And I agree.
Right then. Back to the reliquary it is.
Any idea how you want to do this, Grace? Because I'm game to help.
Cool. I'm sure we can figure something out.
I can't go in with you. Hecate would sense me right away. I will, however, stay close by. If anything happens, I'll come. Hecate won't stop me. The Minotaur won't stop me. Nothing will.
That's great to know, but I'll try not to make it necessary.
Ugh, can we just get on with this already?
Okay, now we can decide how we're gonna do this. Freddy distracting Hecate doesn't sound good. Last time she wasn't all too keen having a mortal in her realm. Honesty, I would like to be honest, but I'm pretty sure that it will not give us entry to the tower. Let's try sneaking.
Wait, are you sure this is right? Was that the right door?
You're asking me like I'm supposed to know?
It just feels like we're back outside again. Maybe that was some kind of portal or...
Or maybe we're right where we're supposed to be.
Then we should be careful. Remember what the Minotaur said? Alarms. Magical defenses.
None of which killed Calliope, we think. But sure, I hear you.
How do we avoid getting lost? It's like a labyrinth.
Oh, it is a labyrinth, but I've never had any trouble finding my way around.
Dude!
Hey, easy. Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right, no need to freak out. I'm a guardian, sure, but I'm not a monster. But, yeah, you know you're not supposed to be in here, right?
I need this, Asterion. I have to figure out what Calliope did here. Please, can't you just let us look around?
Oh, it's just... Kate would be so mad.
You owe us.
She knows you're the sweetest, most thoughtful bullman there is. She'd understand.
I want to, but...
You owe us.
I really appreciate it.
You owe us, you owe us, you owe us.
I need to bring you back to Kate. I'm so sorry.
Damn it!
Oh no. Hey! Come back! Oi, come back!
Damn!
Okay. I don't hear anything. I think I'm alright. I hope Freddy's okay. She better be. First things first, how do I do this? Where do I even start? Calliope must have been here. She could have stood in this very spot. Maybe if I just... focus. It's weird, like, I've definitely been here before.
Okay, what do you have? Egg, instrument, mask, trident, apple, branch, scroll, statue. Oh boy, what could it have been? I hope I just look and don't touch.
Is that a weapon? A musical instrument? Maybe it's both.
Okay, yeah, just look.
I don't get any feeling from that. Will I know it when I see it? What did Freddy say about mazes? Was it always go left? Or go left and then go right? Is this an armory, too? Freddy, are you out there? Can you hear me?
What are you guys screaming about?
All that'll do is tell everyone where I am.
Yeah, exactly. What are you doing?
They should really charge for tours. It's kind of amazing.
Olive branch, okay. And by the way, I know that now the mirrors here is an option.
I don't even know what language that is.
So I'm guessing all of those are wrong and the mirror is the correct one.
Shouldn't that be in a museum somewhere?
Okay, yeah. Mirror, mirror on the wall.
This is it. Calliope was here. She was standing right here. And she...
Touch the mirror and set off the alarms.
Uh-oh. Hello? Do you work for Hecate? Are you guardians or something? Okay then. What's happening? Why didn't it work? Oh! Grace? Freddy! We've got to run! My powers don't work on them, they just keep coming! No, I won't let you!
No. Not Freddy.
Oh god. Oh god, Freddy.
By the gods. You summoned the Furies.
What?
Those beings were the Furies, beyond all our laws. Not idols, but the embodiment of retribution. How did you draw them here?
I didn't. There was a big mirror, but I didn't even touch it.
There is only one mirror of which you could be speaking. That used by the goddess Nyx to contact the Fates. Using the mirror would not have brought the Furies down upon you. Not unless the Fates themselves decreed it.
I don't care what brought them. They killed Freddy. You need to help her.
I have no power over life and death, Grace. None of us have that. This was no defense or spell of the reliquaries. I do not have the power to summon the Furies, and I know none who do. You should consider yourself fortunate, Grace. They do not desist until retribution has been exacted. But now is when you leave. Pray the knowledge you obtained was worth the price.
No, I'm not leaving Freddy. Not like this. All this magic. There has to be something. Don't tell me there's no way to undo this.
Come. There's nothing more to be done.
Freddy. That sucks. Okay, so that finishes Act 2.
I'm sorry it came to this, Grace. It's clear what your friend meant to you.
It should have been me, not her.
Don't say that.
This was my fight, my problem. I'm already slated to die. If anyone paid the price...
Your friend gave you the chance to not repeat history. Don't waste it. Grace, is that how Calliope died? Was she also attacked by the Furies? Do you remember?
Yeah. She meant to use the mirror, but she never had the chance before they came.
No doubt sent by the same person. Perhaps for the same reason.
Who could send the Furies after me? Even Hecate had no idea who possessed that kind of power.
No one does, not these days. Hecate herself would have been my guess. Zeus might have, in his role as king of old Olympus, but he is long gone.
Clearly someone can do it.
Unless they weren't summoned. They could have been responding to something you did unwittingly, something Calliope also did. And what that could be? I'm afraid I have no clue.
What are the Furies? They didn't seem like people.
Think of them as forces of nature, but an aspect mortals rarely encounter. They're older than any idol. They were created to enforce the ancient laws.
There are ancient laws now?
Well, there were. Laws even the idols had to obey, from the earliest days of old Olympus. Even if they still existed and you'd broken one, we would all know. These are not petty crimes one stumbles into.
If the Furies are so powerful, why did they stop? They just stabbed Freddy and left.
They're not assassins, Grace. They exist to punish. They demanded blood, and blood was taken. It didn't need to be yours.
So if Freddy hadn't interfered...
They wouldn't have rested, not ever, until they had their due.
I know Calliope was there to use the mirror, but it was just feeling. I still don't understand why.
There's only one use for that mirror, to speak to the Fates.
Yeah, okay, but why?
The Fates know all that is or will be. Destiny is theirs to command, or so it's said. One contacts them either to know one's fate, or to change it. Not that the Fates are likely to oblige.
Can these Fates really control the future?
They control the fate of all beings. I imagine it's they who give Apollo his powers, and they who write Hecate's books.
So someone really didn't want Calliope messing with them.
Or you, it seems.
Could it have been the Fates? Maybe they don't like being called on now for anything.
They're not known to be vindictive. If they don't want to answer, they simply won't.
I don't know what to do. We still have no idea why Calliope wanted to talk to the Fates.
Well, there is another way to ask them.
I wondered how long that would take. Hecate is enraged. She's threatened to close off the reliquary entirely and forever. Athena is beside herself.
How long have you been standing there?
Long enough. You just had to keep pushing, didn't you? Until you got what you wanted.
This isn't about me. We're out of options, Apollo, and you know there's only one other way to contact the Fates.
Oh, how convenient.
Enough, both of you. This isn't helping anyone.
May I explain it to Grace, or do you have another option, Apollo? If so, now's the time. I thought not. The Fates will respond to the ruler of Hades, the true underworld and realm of the dead. What I propose is that we go there and take back the throne that was stripped from me.
Is that something we can do? Just go to the land of the dead and, overthrow it?
Truth be told, there isn't much to overthrow. Few mortals still believe in Hades, and thus its halls have been nearly empty for eons.
So how do you...
The throne itself is the key, both symbolically and literally. Claim it, and Hades is yours.
But you can't claim it because you're barred from Hades.
By a rule that we would need to break were we to do this, yes.
So if we go to Hades and, find your throne, how much trouble would that get us into, exactly?
A great deal.
It's not as if Athena could execute Grace a second time.
But she's already been warned about breaking more rules.
The responsibility of this will be mine. Let Athena try to take my throne again.
Is there really no other way to talk to these Fates? Do we have to take the nuclear option?
Do you want to try going back to the reliquary?
No. No, hell no.
The only other person with a direct connection to the Fates is Apollo here.
You know it doesn't work like that.
Then it's the throne or nothing, isn't it?
How do we get to Hades? Do we need a key, like the reliquary?
Athena took my key, and the entrance at Lake Avernus was sealed long ago, which leaves only Hermes.
They won't take you.
They might, if you ask them to. Then why did you come, Apollo? To gloat? To wish Grace well? Or to actually help? Get us there. I'll lead us to the throne, and Grace can speak with the Fates. It's simple.
This kind of feels like a stupid thing to ask. I don't think Persephone planned this all along. But hey, we're in the third act.
Is Apollo right? Is this something you planned all along?
Meaning what? What, that I knew what would occur at the reliquary? Perhaps you think I'm the one who unleashed the Furies upon you.
You've waited for this opportunity for over a century.
Waited, yes. Bided my time. And the moment has arrived.
But that's not why you originally agreed to help me?
No, that's not why.
Oh, it's another crazy plan, right?
Grace.
I know, but there's no point in stopping now, is there?
I can't. I'm sorry, but this is a step too far.
And consider this, Apollo. Grace's mortal friend was slain by the Furies. According to the old laws.
Her soul is in Hades.
Hold on, wait. What does that mean? If her soul is in Hades, then...
It means the ruler of Hades can release her.
That's assuming everything remained as it was. Fine. I'll get you into Hades. But I'm not going with you.
If that's what you prefer, by all means.
Let's find Hermes and get this over with.
Shall I wait here, or...?
No. I'm not gonna lie to them. Hermes has always treated me fairly.
Oh, hey, if it isn't Apollo and Grace and, Persephone. Wow, the whole gang, huh?
I'm afraid I have to call in that favor. I need you to take Grace and Persephone to Hades.
Oh, man, I don't know. Athena specifically said I wasn't supposed to take anyone, you know? No matter what.
This is pointless. They're never gonna help us, Apollo.
Can I ask what's going on? Nobody ever tells me anything, and you want me to get in huge trouble, but for what?
I mean, okay, so what is Hermes' most likely respond positively to? The last piece of the puzzle? It's to save Freddy. I mean, he knows Freddy. Let's try it.
Freddy's dead, Hermes.
What? When did that happen?
She was killed by the Furies. That means she's in Hades. Probably. I have to try to find her there. You're her friend too. I know you wouldn't want to abandon her.
Okay.
Yes.
Signal when you need to come back.
You sure?
Yeah, feels like the right thing.
Be careful, Grace. And remember, the underworld doesn't give up its shades without a price.
I think I can tell her the rules, Apollo. Let's go. Welcome to the real underworld.
Wow. It feels so empty. So lonely.
It's not completely empty. Neither is the throne, for that matter. A bitter shade named Orpheus has been squatting on it since my exile. I fully expect he'll be waiting for us.
You didn't think to mention earlier that the throne was occupied?
Because it's irrelevant. Orpheus isn't an idol. He's just an angry little man clinging to an existence that doesn't want him any longer.
And what are we supposed to do? Organize an armed resistance? Challenge him to a duel?
That's what you're here for.
I'm gonna fight him?
Oh, you'll see.
Who is this Orpheus? The name sounds familiar.
It should. His is a popular tale among mortals regarding how he once came to the underworld to retrieve his love, Eurydice, and left with nothing. Hades tricked him, you see, and with Hades dead, the blame has evidently fallen to me.
So he's not a fan of yours?
He is not a fan, no. Not that it matters.
Okay, so there's an angry ghost sitting on your throne. Anything else about this trip you've neglected to mention?
Come. It's time to cross the Styx. The ferryman will come soon. As we are not dead, you will need to convince him you are worthy of passage. State your case clearly and with determination. I am Persephone, also known as Despoina and Kore Sotiera, once queen of the underworld, and shall be again. No, Corone, I did not bring you any cards. I am not here to entertain you.
Hey there! I'm Grace, idol and last of the muses. Is that enough?
Of course she's a muse. Why would she lie about such a thing? He says he's always liked the muses, and that you're very pretty. No, she didn't. Neither of us brought games to play with you, Corone. Stop asking.
Oh, I'm sure we can come up with something to amuse him. See? You don't even need to interpret that for me.
Yes, what fun. Thank you for encouraging him. Let's get underway, Corone. It's a long ride to the throne room.
I wouldn't touch that. Way too much for you. Overload you. Blow a fuse. Every story, every memory winds up here in the water. I used to dream that this river would rise, swallow the anger, tears in my eyes. Then suddenly I was found
for Freddy, too.
I killed the king fair and square. They had no right to take it from me.
It wasn't your fault. There was no right or wrong. It wasn't your fault. You didn't belong. If my life was stolen, I wouldn't know where to turn. Candle isn't finished. It's a slow burn.
Someone's coming. There's music floating through. Someone's coming. And it has me singing too. We have visitors. I think we all know what to do. To the throne room. This bard's about to meet a muse.
There's someone singing with us.
That would be Orpheus.
Is he a muse?
Oh, he's so much more than that.
Someone's
We
coming.
might have a problem.
A wolf is waiting in the
This
tomb.
bard's already
Someone's
dead,
coming.
but you can defeat him.
I can feel them howling at the
My
moon.
help.
Don't forget why we came here.
There's a name here
I won't forget,
that reeks
but you
of
can bet he
enemy.
knows someone's coming.
It's about time, Persephone.
Orpheus, I've been.
What happened to the music?
I have been waiting for you, Persephone, for so long. And you brought a muse. Hi. Lovely tune, by the way. Can't remember the last time I collaborated with someone so talented. No offense, Benny. Welcome to my underworld. Let me treat you to a song, a welcome gift. I have the floor. It is mine, after all. Muse. Any requests? Questions?
Are you really that good?
Down, loop it. I wouldn't say that I'm good. I wouldn't say that I'm great. I wouldn't say that my timing's perfect. I wouldn't say that I'm late.
But you can say that he's
The best that's ever been. The best you've ever seen. The best you've ever heard. And I haven't even really sung a single word.
I think I chose poorly.
Okay, just getting a gauge. Not your thing? Try again. Another request?
What's your problem with Persephone?
Do, 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 loop it. Do, do, do. I didn't do what I was told, didn't know that it was all a game. I didn't think that he would do it. Then Eurydice was gone. And Persephone, you stood right beside him and said, what a shame. He was always gonna kill her and you knew it. And I never got to have my revenge. My pain never ends. I see you now. Persephone won't turn my back. Won't turn my back. Turn my back on you again.
It wasn't your fault. How are you to react? It wasn't your fault. Now there's no turning back. If my love was taken, I wouldn't know where to turn. Your candle isn't finished. It's a slow burn.
This tete-a-tete is over. If he's the victim, what am I?
Queen, let's not lose our composure. The muse understands.
Well, I won't comply. I'd rather die. The throne was stolen after I murdered the king. should be grateful and thank me for everything, and yet you scream like a boy. You kick the ground. I was a slave.
Eurydice is gone because you did nothing.
Orpheus, there was nothing I could do.
I saw your whispers, poison behind your king.
Wasn't me.
If I cannot have my revenge, you're the next best thing.
Orpheus, instead of a life of despair, Hades would have ended you there. This place would still be humming.
Oh, I rather doubt that.
Doesn't make it any less true.
I'm high. Am I the one on trial now?
It wasn't your fault. You were never to blame. Hades was a monster. We were a part of his game. Orpheus, where's your fire? When will the music return?
The candle isn't finished. It's a slow burn.
It's a slow burn. It's a slow burn.
That throne doesn't belong to you, and you know it.
If I didn't do what I was told, I'd be dragged across the palace floor. Hades can't hurt us anymore. But Eurydice is still gone. For what it's worth, you've my apology. But I assure you, nothing more. For deep down you know that there's no revenge.
The pain never ends.
The pain never ends.
There's no revenge.
This was never gonna end the way you wanted to. And I won't turn my back. I won't turn my back on you again.
I had forgotten how sweet a melody could be. Such thoughts become clouded in this place. Forgive me, my lady of the night.
An empty chair for an empty kingdom.
It doesn't sound like it brings you anything but bad memories.
Perhaps you're right. All the reasons I wanted it are long gone now.
Feel better?
Yes. That makes what I have to tell you all the more difficult, however. I lied. Even if we could find Freddy, you couldn't bring her back. The laws of death are not so easily circumvented.
And the fates?
They will not help you or anyone. Even if you could speak to them, they will not care. And never have.
You lied. To me? To Apollo? To Hermes?
I thought it such a small transgression to regain this throne. I would have said anything.
That's it then. We came here for nothing.
I doubt the fates would have responded even to the mirror, Grace. And the boundaries of death cannot be commanded away. Not even by the ruler of Hades.
Which you weren't gonna share. Not while you still had a shot at sticking it to Hades.
At the very least, I had hoped we might find your friend's spirit.
Why? We can't bring her back.
Not without great sacrifice, no. No, the rules of death are clear. Yet, you might have spoken to her. I know what it's like not to get the chance to say goodbye.